डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Hello friends, good day, warm welcome into the Chaitanya studio of Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University, and I, Dr. Ajay Patel, would like to continue our previous discussion. In previous session we discussed regarding the legal aspect, digital forensic, area of cyber law, incident response. In this session we are going to continue our discussion, and we are going to discuss regarding the Indian IT Act. So, as generally the term which have been pronounced parallelly or in alternative way. Some of the IT professionals are using the word IT Act, other professionals are using the word cyber law. So, is there any difference between Indian IT Act or cyber law? Okay friend, so I would like to clear that there is no difference between Indian IT Act and cyber law. Simple, we can say Indian IT Act or the cyber law provides the legal recognition to electronic document and a structure, a framework to support the e-filing and e-commerce transaction, and it also provides a legal structure to reduce check cybercrime. So, if we discuss the importance of cybercrime, then cybercrime covers all the transaction over the internet. It keeps eye on the all activity over internet, and it touches every action and reaction in a cyberspace. So, this is the brief history of the Indian IT Act. Indian IT Act enacted, it we can say it comes or officially applied from the 2000. That means Indian Parliament notified on 17th of October 2020. So, we can say it is a official recognition for the Indian IT Act for the legal perspective, and it is based on the unilateral model law. This model, or as we know, the Interpol, international police. So, international police had provided guideline, and the unilateral law, model law on international commercial arbitration recommended by the General Assembly of United Nations by the resolution dated 30 January 1997, and based upon that, means considering this model law as a guideline, the Indian IT Act or Indian Information Act 2000 was defined. The original act contained 94 sections, and the entire IT Act is divided into 13 chapters and 4 schedules. This act provides a legal framework for e-governance, electronic governance. It also gives the recognition to electronic record, digital signature, and it also defines the cybercrime and prescribed penalties for them. Later on, because the scenario in this era, or the web acceptance or the internet activity or the cyber activity are rapidly growing, and the pictures or the things like we can say in 2000 the WhatsApp was not there, or in 2000 the social media was not there. So, there are limited consideration in this direction, but nowadays we are looking the huge acceptance, or we can say the Facebook is a lifeline of the society. We are not discussing any positive or in terms of any positive or negative effect on society or children, but this is the fact, the Facebook is the lifeline for this society, or we can say the social media is a lifeline of this current society. Now so when time pass on, the government needs to amend the act, and the first amendment was in 2008. Later on it was also in 2014, and in a first amendment which was made in 2008, the section 66A was introduced, and it provides the penalize, or it prescribes the fine or penalty for the offensive messages. Because if we discuss in terms of 2000, the mobile use was very limited, and in India there was nothing like short messaging services or any kind of message communication via mobile phone. But in 2008 the scenario was completely changed. Each and every day, because nowadays as we see so many people and these are the statistics provided by the WhatsApp only. During morning, the entire WhatsApp traffic is, for example, 100%, and only among the 100 entire WhatsApp traffic, only 20% traffic comes from the Indian subcontinent. That means India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, etc. Indian subcontinent, and these are the only good morning wishes. So we can understand by this example the acceptance of messages in our normal life. So the government provided a framework and guideline and made some provisions for the offensive message. The section 69 was also introduced, which gave the authorities to power of intercept or monitor or decrypt any information through any computer resources. So to restrict the terrorist activity, this section is very useful. Now these are the some important sections, and we need to understand this section to understand the IT Act. So the first section is section 65. Section 65, that means tampering with computer source documents. If a person knowingly or intentionally conceal, destroy or alters, or intentionally or knowingly causes another to conceal, destroy or alter any computer source code used for computer program, computer system or computer network, when the computer source code is required to be kept or maintained by the law for time being in force, for this kind of crime, the section 65 will be applied, and the penalty for the violation of or to carry out this kind of crime are imprisonment up to the 3 years or end with the fine up to 2 lakh rupees. The next section, that means section 66. Section 66 clearly discuss regarding hacking with the computer system. That means if a person with the intent to cause or knowing that he is likely to cause the wrongful loss or damage to the public or any person, destroy or deletes or alters any information residing in a computer resource, or diminish its value or utility or affect it injuriously by any mean, then it can be categorized as a hacking, and for the penalty for this kind of crime is imprisonment up to the 3 years or and with fine up to the 5 lakh. So, the next section is like next section is a 66B. Now 66B is nothing but receiving stolen computer or communication device. So, this is the important concept because so many people commit this crime due to their greedy nature. We can see or we can read in newspaper or we can see in a TV channel, there are frequently cases or incidents have been observed that the person arrested trying to buy the stolen iPhone, the student has been arrested trying to stolen the laptop. So, for these kind of, because this is only due to a person who wants to save some money, few bucks, and in this when he is trying to save money, he has attracted to buy such kind of resources, but ultimately or mainly he doesn't know about this kind of activity, because he doesn't know that he is buying the stolen gadget. But when any lucrative offer comes, he or she might attract. So, in that case the section 6B will be applied, and the penalty for that is imprisonment up to 3 years and fine is up to 1 lakh rupees. Okay. Now, the next section 66C, it mainly mainly emphasis on a password misuse of the password of some another. Again, number of crimes crimes come to know that ex-boyfriend misused his ex-girlfriend's social media profile, employee of the particular organization transferred certain amount into his personal account by using his boss or his colleague's password, then after misuse of the digital signature and other unique identification of the person. So, when someone is trying to use some another's unique identity, it falls under the section 66, and the penalty for that is imprisonment up to 3 years with or fine up to 1 lakh rupees. Next one is the 66D. Now, when you are someone is cheating to some other, means attacker cheats some victim by using computer resources like sending the lucrative offers via email, sending SMS, and trying to attract or trying to misguide some person. At that time, the section 66D comes into the picture, and imprisonment for the section 66D is 3 years imprisonment with or with fine up to 1 lakh rupee. Next, 66E. uh, publishing private images of others. If a person captures, transmit or publish images of person's private parts without his or her consent or knowledge, for that the imprisonment is up to 3 years with a penalty of 2 lakh rupees. Next is 66F, and this is the act which purely related with the cyber terrorism. Cyber terrorism, that means according to the law, each and every person who is residing, who is living within a Indian geographical boundary is responsible to produce or to provide the access of their system to designated authority for the inspection purpose, for the verification purpose, because it's in interest of nation. And if denial of this kind of inspection or this kind of access would leads to the section 66F violation, and the rigorous imprisonment means life imprisonment is a penalty mentioned for the section 66 violation. So, next is the section 67. What is the section 67? Again, it is related with the publishing information which is obtained in electronic form. If a person publishes or transmits or causes to be published in electronic form any material which is lascivious or appeals to purient interest or of its effect, is such as tend to deprave corrupt person who are likely having regard to all relevant circumstances to read, to see or hear matter contained or embedded in it. So, this is the purely related with the publishing of the content. You are no one in India is authorized to publish the contents which is purely related with the some other person interest or some other community's interest. And if in that case, if someone has carried out such kind of crime, in that case the penalty is imprisonment of 5 years with fine up to the 10 lakh rupees. Now, this is the section 67A, publishing images containing sexual acts. If a person publishes or transmit image containing sexual explicit act or conduct, that means if anyone, no one can publish the porn content or nude content on the internet. If he did, then the penalty is like that, imprisonment up to the 7 years with the fine up to the 10 lakh rupees. Now again the 67B, the 67B is purely related with the child pornography. Child, that means anyone who is under 18. So, if a person captures or publishes or transmits image of a child in a sexually explicit act or conduct, so if a person induced as a child into the sexual act, the imprisonment is up to 7 years with the fine up to the 10 lakh rupees, 1 lakh rupees. Now, the failure to maintain, because this is the most important thing. If anyone who is working in a profession like in which he or she is responsible to maintain the document or to maintain the register, like the internet service providers are responsible to maintain the subscribers net activity. Now for example, a basic example, the cyber cafe owners are responsible to maintain the cyber cafe visitors register. Now if he or she fails, then the section 67C will be applied, and in that case the imprisonment is up to 3 years with a fine. Now this is the most important or another important section, section 68. Section 68 mentions that failure or refusal to comply with the order. Now at this stage, friend, I would like to mention that Government of India has defined the grievances, IT or IT grievances redressal committee or bodies, and these bodies are like we can say the competent authority or controller to the Secretary of the State, Information Technology Department Secretary of the State will automatically serve as a controller or conflict solving authority in a conflict between the parties. So if controller may order, direct or certifying authority or any employee of such authority to take such measures or cease carrying on such activity as specified in the order, if those are necessary to ensure compliance with the provision of this act, the rule or any regulation made thereunder, any person who fails to comply with such order shall be guilty of an offence, and for that the imprisonment up to 3 years or and with fine up to the 2 lakh. So the main thing is that once you have been asked to produce certain kind of digital records or to provide certain kind of digital records, in that case you need to provide the simple interpretation of this section is like that. For example, the video surveillance system, CCTV cameras are installed in your premises. Now any crime or any criminal activity occurred in your area and the police asked to produce the CCTV footages, to provide the CCTV footages or to provide the video recording. In that case, even if these video surveillance facility are owned by yourself, means these are the privately owned property, you cannot or no one can deny to provide the CCTV footages, because according to section 66 such kind of denial would lead to you for the 3 years imprisonment with the fine up to the 2 lakh rupees. Now then after we can say, friends, next because of course these sections we will discuss some another section also in the next lecture, but the simple interpretation or simple understanding of this kind of clauses are very important. We can say data prevention and the cyber crime or the section of cyber Indian IT Act would lead anyone for the imprisonment, minimum up to the 3 year and maximum up to the life imprisonment. So while anyone who is using this digital platform in terms of mobile phone, in terms of mobile data, or in terms of email, or in terms of social media, at that time it is quite necessary for every user to understand the Indian IT Act, the basic sections of the Indian IT Act, which could affect any individual, and the, we can say, the this kind of violation of this kind of rule would lead to the imprisonment and the legal action against the user. So these are the section, and in a next section we will continue our discussion in same line. Okay friend, thank you very much.